I'm Anaki Nippon. Today I'd first like to give a special thanks to Pine Grove 33, also known as Bernard Chapin, and of Chapin's Inferno. And I want you to check out his channel. I'm going to link it down below, along with this shirt I received from Hollywood Loser via Bernard Chapin. Thank you so much. This is an awesome t-shirt, and I want you guys to also go to HollywoodLoser.com. I have that in the link below. Check it out. They got some awesome t-shirts. But on top of that, I want to point out a story that I heard on, I believe it was Fox News, of all places. I saw it yesterday. So that would be the 22nd of this month. And the report goes something along the lines of a federal panel does not recommend men get a regular exam for testicular cancer. Could you imagine the outcry of women that would be out there on the streets marching and saying, would you dare say that we shouldn't have our breasts examined for potential cancer? You would never, you probably would see that if it would have happened in the reverse. But no, this is prostate cancer, not a gland, an actual organ that can grow. Anyways, that's what was cited on Fox News yesterday when I was watching TV. And I think the most disturbing part is that a federal panel is not recommending that people find out because, oh, it's either going to be too late or, there's nothing we could do about it by the time we find out through this method of finding out whether or not you have prostate cancer. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when I was reading a bunch of various reports. I'm going to include some links down below in the crotch bar, but that was really disturbing to me that even the doctor on the show said, I hope you guys get I recommend that men get a second opinion and make sure that, if you're getting, get an exam, no doubt, you need to make sure that if the men that are at risk, I believe it's above 40 years of age, men are at risk for prostate cancer. And that's an organ, not like a gland like testicles, which you can remove, or a breast that you can remove. And even at that, it can spread. Any kind of cancer can spread from one area to another, whether it's a gland or an organ, but an organ's even worse. So, anyways, my point being is I want you guys to make sure to check out different ways of examining your testicles and chesticles and ensuring that you guys can remain healthy, but, check for cancer. And my second thing that I saw, this is a MSNBC article that I read. It said, women are sexually abused in some prison somewhere. And I'm going to include that article down below as well. I have not seen a single article that has been highly publicized that talks about men being abused sexually in prison. Of course, unless you're running with a gang and you're physically fit and you're not convicted of the incorrect crime, you probably will survive in prison without being sexually assaulted. But the fact of the matter is, sexual assaults do go on in prison, and they do go under investigated, and the people who run the prisons really don't care about your life, your livelihood, or the fact that you might be sexually abused. One of the worst degrading things that can happen to anybody, let alone a man, in prison. And I find it disgusting that nobody talks about these issues, and we should be paying attention to these issues more often. And when somebody writes, some reporter tries to get their name seen just because, oh, well, there's reports that women are sexually abused in prison. How long has it been that men have never been reported properly for sexual abuse in prisons? And now this article comes out and they think it's a big deal. No, it's always been a big deal. It's always been serious. And all these allegations need to be investigated and reported properly for the reasons I have noted above. Anyways, I'm Manny Kinipon. Peace out. Take care.